Hello folks, we're looking at Hunter Rye. It's pretty sunny right now, thankfully, because the clouds have dissipated. I bought this along US Highway 90. I wanted to get the big glass bottle, you know, the nice glass bottle, but the man said, no, that's all I got.
Yeah, well sometimes it's good to taste the small ones, see if it's something you're going to like.
Yeah, it was 2 of these bottles for $5, which is not terrible for a sample.
So this is rye out of Canada, I would assume, just by looking at the...
Yeah.
And this is bottled where?
At Buffalo Trace by Sazerac.
Okay, it's got a little embossed seal on it.
Yeah, like the bottom of a bullet.
Yeah.
And it's 90 proof, as opposed to the regular Canadian Hunter, which is 80 proof.
So it smells sweet. You know, you get that sweetness off of that Canadian stuff because they like to make most of theirs from that maple syrup base.
What are you saying? Maple syrup?
Well, yeah, that's what they used back in the day to sweeten stuff, was maple syrup.
Kind of a big sample you got there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were going to drink this.
I didn't buy it to save.
No.
Okay,
I like that attitude.
it's imported and bottled by Sazerac of Frankfort, Kentucky. In other words, Buffalo Trace. They produce it in Canada, they ship it down to Kentucky at Buffalo Trace, and they bottle it. Okay, we've said enough of that. So the reason I found this is because I called the company on the phone and they were telling me where to find another Canadian whiskey. And I will say this about Sazerac. Their customer service is second to none. If you call that number, the man will tell you, or the lady will tell you exactly which stores sell it. And they're right. It's always right. Okay.
So the color of this is like a Texas. No, it's amber.
It's like leather, like a light leather.
Well, it's real pretty too.
Tan.
Hold it up into the sun, you get that nice little color going on with it.
Yeah, and I have not seen the regular glass
The
bottles.
smell, I'm getting maple syrup. Getting maple.
Maple.
Yes, sir. I'm getting maple.
You ever ate a Reuben sandwich?
Of course,
They
I've
use
had a
that-
Reuben sandwich.
They use that rye bread.
Yeah.
Has that peppery spice.
Well, I'm talking about the sweetness. I'm not talking about the depth of it.
Okay, the sweetness.
The sweetness I'm smelling.
Yeah, right, like a pancake syrup.
Yeah. Maple syrup.
Sugary. But
Now-
not overplayed.
Now, if you go past that and go on into the rye, you can smell it. The only other rye that I've had 2 ryes. I had the Jack Daniel's rye, which is very pleasant.
Yeah, I want to try that one day.
Very pleasant. I would highly recommend it. It's a beautiful rye. And of course the Sazerac,
You had the Sazerac rye.
which is a go-to. Which
Thank you, Sonia, for that unopened
is
bottle,
just
which I drank the whole time.
it's just fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Sazerac.
it's a classic.
It's truly affordable. Anywhere you can get it,
$23.
Yeah.
This is probably about $12 a bottle. True story.
Go ahead and try it.
I'm still smelling it. It's got a lot of complexity. Okay, taste. Sorry about that.
It's got a cereal note going on with it. You see, rye's a little bit more bitter than this.
Well, let me tell you something about this. If you notice on the label it says Canadian whiskey, a blend, which means they're probably using a corn distillate base, and the rye is being added for flavor. So it's probably about 80% corn liquor, you know, and then the flavor's coming from a fairly good amount higher rye content than you would get with most Canadian whiskeys. So it's not 100% rye whiskey. They don't make that claim on the bottle like they do with Canadian Club 100% rye. So it's a rye-oriented blended whiskey, but it's not a true 100% pure rye whiskey. But it's 90 proof like the old Jack Daniels and the old, remember the old whiskeys used to be all 90 proof?
Yeah. Or at least 86.
86, and then they dropped them all down to 80. So this is coming from the old days in the proof. I think somebody that's not used to rye might like it because it could.
It's got a low rye-ness to it.
100% pure rye might shock them. A little bit.
Kind of like single malt scotch.
Right, it might put them off. But this could be a good, like, getting them into it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I really like it. I don't know what your opinion is. You might hate it. I don't know. I always say call them as you see them.
I don't hate it. It's just it's not what I was expecting in a rye, and like you said, in some cases, someone that doesn't drink rye whiskey might find it pleasant. So there's a low note of the rye on it. It's kind of sweet. So
And we know a lot of people like that sweetness.
I'd give it a B. I think for what you paid for it, what you get out of it, it's put together well. I don't know about 90, but you can't argue with the label.
No, it's 90 proof. There's no doubt about that. You can kind of feel the burn when you start drinking it. You can tell it's not 80. It's got too much of this, like.
You can get bottled and bond slow burn. So, burn's just how they.
With this one, it's got a little burn to it, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I like it. If I saw a $7.50 glass bottle, I would probably buy it if it was like $12.99. I wouldn't pay a whole lot, but I mean, it's not going to be sold for a whole lot of money. It's a, value priced product, I think. And you've never had the regular Canadian Hunter, which is a different experience, but that's only $8.99 for the bottle. So anyway, I like it. I'm glad we tried it. I was curious to see what you think about it. That's the whole purpose of the video. I mean, the last question.
It's pleasant. It's got there's a little offness on the note. Just smelling. It's almost like grain alcohol.
Yeah, well, that's in there.
Yeah, you can smell it. It's almost like unrefined grain alcohol. And then it was mixed with some sweet corn, and then they just kind of added the rye to it.
I mean, would you recommend people buying it if they saw it?
I would recommend someone buying Sazerac.
So pay the extra $10.
I can't recommend this. It's okay. But if you want a true rye experience, I would go Sazerac. The Jack Daniel's rye is a lot better than this. But like you say, it's budget. It's not bad. It's not great, but there's definitely an imbalance going on with it.
And, there's a lot of people that are on a budget. They really can't afford a $23 bottle of whiskey, and they really have to settle for $13,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're on a budget end, I'd say go ahead and get it.
But if you got the money, maybe you should try the Jack Daniels, which I've never had.
But I'm wondering if this offness I'm getting is coming from the plastic bottle it came in.
Uh-oh. I was hoping you weren't going to go there.
Well, I don't really think that you should put gasoline inside of plastic bottles because I think it deteriorates them. So I don't think you should put whiskey in plastic.
There's a guy that does videos. He's called the Whiskey Scout, and anytime he buys a plastic whiskey, he immediately decants it into a glass container
Okay.
because he doesn't like the idea of.
Well, I mean, you hear stories about water in plastic containers, and water's not going to deteriorate plastic.
Oh, like the
that
polyurethane
fast.
will leach into the water.
Yeah, and I'm thinking alcohol is going to just perpetuate that faster. So I'm wondering.
But I'm thinking the companies must have this down pat, like they know what they're doing. And then
I think they don't give a shit and they just want profit.
James P. Madonna will not drink a whiskey out of a plastic container. He doesn't care what the price is. He's in New Jersey. He does videos with us sometimes. He's like, I don't care what.
Right there with you, James. But I just wanted to go ahead and try this. So.
Yeah, that's the only vessel I could get, plastic. Okay, so kind of a mixed review here. But hey, I bought it. I tried it. we'll probably never see it again. So that's that. It's done.
I'd like to try it out of glass if you can get glass.
If
Right.
I can get glass. I only got the regular Canadian Hunter in glass. So anyway, well, we did it. It's done. So I'd be curious of your feedback. Are there other videos for Canadian Hunter? There were a handful. But really, the only video I saw, wait, let me think about that. The only video I saw was like a tomfoolery video. They were just clowning around, making jokes. It wasn't a true review, so, you know, it's pretty rare. It is kind of rare. All right, thanks for watching this video production.